cherry orchards, if you've ever been to Michigan, they're everywhere, and they're so seasonal, and they're so iconic to the time and or to the place. And they're just romantic to me. Like, I mean, that there's nothing really romantic about cherry season. Like, it's hard work. So many bees, but I don't know. I just thought it was a really romantic setting, which then led me to the Sunshine Girls. And the Sunshine Girls, the opening of that book is two estranged sisters at their mother's funeral in a small town in Iowa. And in walks Kitty Devereaux, who is like legend of stage and screen. And she's like, you don't actually know who your mother is. I'll tell you who your mother is. And so it starts these like stories of, this time that they had together that these two girls didn't know anything about. And that beginning came to me like in a dream. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it was just, I saw it like a dream, and I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, what an amazing idea for a book. And then it was like going back, if they're 30, if they're this old, then what year would they have met? And then as I started to do that kind of math, my mom was a nursing student in Iowa. And so all like, where would an Iowa nurse and a movie star meet but college? And so I just was able to like connect those dots there. And then all of my mom's stories from nursing school were waiting for me. And, 1960s was an incredible time. There's something so incredibly not glamorous about nursing school. And like, it's such a weird time too, because nursing school is incredibly intimate. And in a time when intimacy for these women would have been, their small town Iowa girls was completely barred. Like, there was no intimacy allowed for them, so it's this crash course in physical intimacy. It's a crash course for many of them in like a larger political world. It was just a really fun and fascinating time to write about. I mean, my mom gave me this line about how she had a teacher that said, well, if chemistry doesn't get you, meaning like the number of girls that would leave, if chemistry doesn't get you, the dirty bottoms will. And I get more notes about nurses who are like dirty bottoms. Just like, it starts at 100 for nursing school with women who just maybe don't have any of that kind of experience. Most of them don't. These characters have to be so clear in your mind that when you're putting them down on page, they sound different. Like, when you're I want it to be so that when a reader knows there's a section in Kitty's point of view, they know it's Kitty, because she sees the world differently. She describes the world differently. And when it's in Betty Kay's point of view, it's going to be the same. And so my first advice is, you've got to figure that out. And it's a shortcut, but like, who does this character remind you? Either a celebrity or someone in your life. Like, attach a face to it, create a shortcut to get you there. And then once you're in it, you're nuancing your three-dimensional character growth. You're doing all of that stuff, to make that character real, but give yourself that bridge to get there. And then you have to give them a lot of conflict, and you have to give them something that makes them put aside the conflict and work together.